No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. Instagram, will you please go live? Thank you.
Oh, I thought it said that it wasn't even gonna let you do that. When I logged in, that's what it said. But
It requires work.
There we go. Well, it just popped up on my phone.
Shout out to Motherland. 12-year-olds with guns in hand. They don't ask no questions. All they do is bang. Is that Trinidad James' last verse that we heard?
Because that was on the ASAP Ferg shit, right?
Yeah.
That, yeah.
A lot of down should have been from Hoover Street. No, I do. Yeah, all that. Yeah. Good time in life. That was college, right?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Hey, let's go down like memory lane in college and like think of stories that we actually can't tell on the podcast. Isn't that fun?
I don't really know enough to tell on this podcast to begin with. So.
But hey, Paulie P, man, how you doing?
We're doing fantastico. How are you doing, AC Lee?
Man, not too bad. Could be better, could be worse, but what will complaining do?
You know, nobody will give a shit. That is the truth about that. So,
well, no, I got married, so I have somebody who has to care about my complaints.
They certainly should act like they do. Yeah. It's truth. Hey, look, I care about everything my daughter has to say, but there are some times where she repeats herself, and I'm just like, I get it, you know. Doesn't mean that I don't care. It just means I'm tired of you telling this to me, you know. Like, I get it. You're 4, and you don't understand everything.
Yeah, I'm not really. As much as I'm looking forward to my daughter talking and all of that good stuff, right?
Oh, it's gonna be fantastic. But you need to live in these days too. You really do, like, because they do go by kind of quick, and it's like, this is how people start having more kids because they're like, God, I took this for granted to a degree, and because from here on out, she's gonna be a kid. And my mom used to tell me this all the time. She used to say, you know, you guys really need to enjoy this. He said, you're gonna get to be an adult forever, and she was absolutely right. I'm going to get older. I'll be an older adult. But like, once I graduated from high school in reality, and even though you still kind of get treated like a kid, you do get to be an adult forever.
Yeah.
I'll be an adult forever. I'll never get to do any of that stuff again.
But you know what I'll tell you? I'm not the adult who says, man, I wish I was a kid again.
Yeah, Michael Jackson is. But then again, if you ask Mike for why he did what he did, like having an amusement park at his house, it's because he said he didn't have a childhood, which I bet he probably kind of didn't. It certainly wasn't normal.
Have you seen my childhood?
I'm not mad at Mike, man. Everybody was like, man, why he hanging out with Macaulay Culkin? And then all these other boys came. But Macaulay Culkin said he didn't touch me.
I mean, Michael Jackson just wanted to be home alone with his friends.
Mike wanted to have campfires and ride rides and eat cotton candy and popcorn. What's wrong with you people? He's like, I'm the richest man on earth. Can I live out my fantasies of being a child, something I didn't get to be? Maybe Mike was misunderstood.
Hey.
R. Kelly was not misunderstood. That nigga knew exactly what it was he was doing. He just wanted, he had a fetish. I mean, that's the real truth about him. He liked to fresh off the assembly line, and sometimes he couldn't wait for the assembly line to even be ready. He said, I want to grab one now. It's like a cookie that's not done baking or a food that's not done yet, and you just like get in and you like, man, it still tastes good. It still kind of tastes the same. That's kind of what R. Kelly was.
R. Kelly's the type of guy who like eats crunchy potatoes.
What's wrong with crunchy potatoes?
I'm talking about crunchy boiled potatoes.
Oh,
not like fried crunchy potatoes. I'm talking
or well, I'm saying like oven roasted.
Yeah, no. I'm talking
crunch on mine. I mean, they need to be soft on the inside, but
No. R. Kelly wanted his crunchy all the way through.
Yeah, that's his type of behavior, So
Yeah, separate art from artists if you can.
I can. Unlike a lot of people will play Michael Jackson and then they won't play R. Kelly, and then everybody will look around and it's like,
look here, man. If the music slaps, the music slaps.
oh, I don't. Yeah, because what does that have to do with? It's art. It's their art.
I'm not into these people's personal lives, and as long as the legal system handles them as they should, I'm gonna continue to listen to their music.
I thought I just saw Joel Embiid, but it was Mo Bamba with the dunk.
I got hoes calling your phone.
Me and Julian Turner went to Austria together.
Okay.
And we got a section in an Austrian club. It was actually, as anyone would like to say, it doesn't matter what era, since I know we were talking about eras a little earlier, it was lit. It was actually one of these things that was like fantastic. I couldn't believe it. But
did they play Mo Bamba while you were there?
Yes. But this was during the time when the song was at its height. And like it was like the hypest song in there, even in Europe. Man, everybody was going fucking nuts. And it's like, yo, this is a basketball player.
That song might be one of the best one-hit wonders of our adult life.
Yes. I actually agree. I agree. But here's the thing. He did have other songs. It'd be like that and Hot Nigga for Bobby Shmurda. Because Bobby Shmurda had other songs technically.
Yeah, Shmoney Dance.
Or Bobby Bitch. He had that. That was cool. He had
that song with Quavo when he got out.
Well, he had computers with, I know it was Roddy Ricch's song, and all these social networks and these computers, niggas something, like they some shooters. You know what that is, right?
I don't remember it, Bobby.
Man, that shit's like the New York. That's like New York, like Couture, like the New Yorkers, they love that shit because they do the all that shit that whoop dee, like they do all that shit to that. Yeah.
What's that stuff they do now? Is getting something.
Damn it.
We're old.
Not because I was about to say hyphy.
Same thing.
Loose. I don't know. Brother, something. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, hold on. It's gonna be stuck on my brain. 1 second.
Google New York. Let's see. New York getting. Oh, you're calling a New Yorker.
Not a New Yorker, no. I'm calling my young nigga whisperer. Watch this man not answer the phone. He's not doing anything. Okay, he'll call back.
Hold on. I'll phone in a New York.
Well, Parlay Pete just disappeared. What happened? What the hell happened? I lost my co-host. But no, it's really gonna bother me that I can't think of what that New York dance is. Okay, here he comes in. There she blows.
I don't know what happened. Hold on.
I don't either.
Let me see if I can get an answer. Because I know that she's gotta know.
Hello?
Hey, I didn't mean to wake you up, but me and Lee are recording our podcast. You're not really on there, but you kind of are because I'm on speakerphone. The quick question that I had, because we're talking about it's a New York dance. What do New Yorkers call getting something? What is that?
Getting light.
No, it's not getting light.
It's like a dance.
It's the dance, like when they show Woody doing the dance. What is that called?
You mean getting sturdy?
Getting sturdy. All right.
There we go. Getting sturdy. Yeah, there we go.
All right, thanks. Getting sturdy. Yeah. I knew that it was. I'm trying to tell you. That's what she said. Getting light. I'm like, we're not talking about a let it rain to clear it out. Like that feels like that. That's what that is. Getting light. I don't even know what the fuck getting light is.
I don't even know getting sturdy.
Yeah, getting sturdy, bro. That is what it's called.
Hey, Parlay Pete. This is confirmation that we are old.
I know. I couldn't even remember. But that's actually something that's been going on for probably a decade, at least known for a decade. But it became mainstream like 5 years ago.
Yeah, my little 10-year-old nephew, he does it. He gets sturdy.
Yeah, but that's what it's called, getting sturdy.
Yeah, I gotta learn how to get sturdy. I gotta learn how to get sturdy. So when I'm out here feeling young, right now I'm chilling my inner old head with my tank top on, my
yeah, you
Adidas.
look like an '80s rapper in Brooklyn or Bronx.
Well, AC Lee is hard as hell.
Right. Nigga, you about to say, I am AC Lee and I like to do this beat. Like, yeah. To the red and the white in my big ass house and my color TV. Like, that's
Bro, ain't that some of the worst rap ever?
I love Apache and Sugar Hill Gang. I actually do like those songs. And maybe because like as a kid, my mom enjoyed them. And like we would be cleaning up the house and like my mom, you wanna know this is one of the things. Look, this is one of the things I do with my mom. We would do like the butt thing, like where you like
Go in the butt.
but like the hip,
Yeah.
yeah. But we would do like as a kid, my mom would like it's honestly it's funny because like it's silly. It's like silly in a weird way. Like it's silly as fuck.
That's what you do with your parents. Like me and my mom, we
But
do
I'm
like
a kid, like I'm like 8, 9, 10. I don't know shit. I don't even know who the artists are. She can tell me who it is, but I still don't really know who it is. I'm like, man, let's play that College Dropout. And my mom loved Kanye, but like
the old Kanye.
yeah. Like my mom bought Graduation at Sam's Club.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, the CD, man. My mom owned. She bought, and when we asked her, like outside of obviously liking the music, why, what do you like about Kanye? It was when he went on Oprah, and like the way that obviously he treated his mom, and she said that like he dressed really nice, which is kind of crazy because like that's his whole thing now. It's fashion, but
Adidas is planning to bring back the Yeezys.
are they?
I guess that stock price.
These are like my go-to. These are my New Balances. Those are like my everyday shoes. I wear these shoes every day. But like,
I want to be like you when I grow up, where I can just bullshit in a pair of Yeezys.
No, man. Well, once they get messed up, they're messed up. They're just like a pair of Chucks to me. Like that and New Balances. Like great New Balances. They're all my favorite shoes. But these shoes are comfortable. They're fashionable. They go with everything. It's great.
I'm a Walker Kessler fan, by the way.
What do you like about Walk? He's from Georgia too. He went to fucking where did he go? He went to Woolward.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, he went to Woolward.
I said Whitfield. Ain't nobody on no damn Whitfield.
I know a dude that went to Whitfield. Wow, I'm surprised they didn't call foul there.
I'm telling you. Well, Max, he barely became an all-star. So, he doesn't get those calls. All right, man, we got a packed show for you, though, man. Where do you want to start? Do we want to? We'll go ahead and do a little.
Here's what we're doing. We're gonna run the piss. Hey, I got you. We're getting ready to run the piss out football. Time to get something going. I got you.
Screw guys, I'm going home. Okay, that's it. Screw you guys. I'm going home.
I just want to throw a little Eric Cartman in there, just for shits and giggles.
Well, the Falcons always come first in my heart.
And in your bed?
They don't come in my bed, but nonetheless, they're a big part of my life, and so
yeah, they're a big part of my life and my fucking bank account.
No, for sure, but like I'm saying, like even just in general,
got an email this morning.
I have so many family I had so many moments in life with my family, like at these games. I really do. Like the Falcons have a place in my heart. I think because my mom, honestly, she cared so much about it. And
you're the inspiration by me, like bringing my daughter to Falcons games.
I swear, man, when she gets older, you look, she'll be 20, once she graduates or something, she'll be like, "Hey, Dad, let's go to a Falcons game," or she might even surprise you one day. And depending on
Hey.
where you're living, if you're living here, I'm sure you might always have season tickets too. So like, but
Even
she
if I
might say, "Hey, Dad, I got us tickets for like I got maybe not for Christmas, maybe for your birthday. It'll be a game in December," and she'll surprise you and say, "Dad, we're going to Seattle," or like,
yeah, no, like even if I move, I'm keeping my tickets because I don't want to lose my seats.
yeah.
I'll sell my tickets at a loss if I move too far away because I want to just keep my seats.
It's an awesome thing, and that's the influence. Because I think I've told you this story before, but my mom was initially. I mean, she grew up in. She's from Wilmington, Delaware. My mom grew up an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
So like, Dick Vermeil was the coach when they went to the Super Bowl the first time. Like, that's why when people like Josh Holsey are fans, because I'm telling Josh, I'm like, look, Josh, I am a Falcons fan. I don't know the Eagles' history, but I know why my mom was a fan of the Eagles. A, because she's essentially from Philadelphia, but at the same time, B, she's from Philadelphia. Like, she's basically.
Does Delaware have airports? I know that sounds ignorant. Or do niggas just fly into Philly because
so they do. They're really small, and it's only in Dover. You can drive from the bottom of Delaware to the top of Delaware in 45 minutes flat.
And that's why I asked. Do they really?
It's the smallest state in the United States. It's also the first state. But like,
Delaware's the smallest state? I thought it was like one of the other ones.
So it's the smallest, not population, but in terms of, it's smaller than Rhode Island.
Okay.
It's smaller. Like in terms of land mass, it's the smallest state. Are you about to fact check me?
No, Todd's texting me.
Hold on. I'm going to fact check myself. I'm almost certain that it is.
Yeah.
No, okay, no. Then it's population. Hold on.
Hot diggity damn.
Some of this stuff might have changed. Either way, it's the first state. This is my point. Very small state. You can drive from the top to bottom. You can drive in 45 minutes. I swear. That is 100% fact. Like, but there's a train that stops there. Like when you go from New York to DC, it stops in Philadelphia and Wilmington. And obviously, President Biden is from Wilmington. He's not only from Wilmington, but of course, he was a senator there for a long time. So,
hey, we want to keep our viewership here.
Look, that's another funny thing too. When President Obama became president, that was like one of the first things my mom said. She's like, yeah, I know who Joe Biden is. Like Joe Biden, this, that, because he was her senator growing up.
Yeah.
And that was damn near bigger than the governor in reality, kinda. Like, you know what I mean? In a state like that, like to me, Brian Kemp holds more, even though he doesn't, but he kind of does. He has more power over the state. Over the state, he's got more power than Ossoff and Warnock. But
look, not gonna get into politics at all. But Brian Kemp has done a great job leading the state. That gas tax, he just keeps pulling it back, keep our gas prices low.
Can we give Brian Kemp a round of applause? Oh, I thought you had a goddamn.
I got. I would have to go in there and like press buttons and go back to old presets, and not want to do that because we got.
Okay, well, here let's. Yeah, he's been fantastic. I think that Brian Kemp is a leader of men.
Yeah, I just wish he would legalize sports gambling and marijuana.
But I think that he knows that in reality, you want to know who would have to get behind it? The Cathys. Like he'd have to have somebody that would like cultivate.
Well, if they buy the Hawks or the Falcons, we could get that because they'd make some of that money.
So it did get presented. Something got voted on the other day. You can Google it right now. to where it did pass the first protocol to get to that stage. I don't think that it's going to happen, but like, I'm just a realist and I live like, just like you, I live in the state. Like, it's just not going to happen.
These
But
good
like,
old boys don't want to bring that dirty gambling to our state.
yeah, they're stupid. Like, I will be trying to get as much money as possible. You know, that's just me though.
You're a capitalist. You're not a politician.
I know, but
so yeah, let's talk.
I love America just like them some bitches.
Let's talk some Falcons. You know, we hired our coordinators. Nothing that was a big splash. I mean, sounds like we're trying to be Rams South.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that if it works.
okay.
I mean, I think the Rams run a pretty good operation over there. Outside of Sean McVay, like wanting to quit if they're not good. I think they run a good operation because you know what? They're good.
Right.
Sean McVay doesn't really trot many bad teams out there. And the last year when he trotted a bad team out there, well, they were injury riddled. So what we expect to happen when your all-pro receiver is hurt and your really good quarterback is hurt. Hey, Matt Ryan or Matthew Stafford?
In regards to what? Just overall career or like?
I mean, yeah. Tell me who you think's the better quarterback, better legacy. Who would you rather have rooted for 15 years?
Oh, I think Matt was the better player, but like it's not. And honestly, it really isn't a bias. I think Matt was the better player, but like I think when it's all said and done, because Matt has a Super Bowl, Stafford has a Super Bowl MVP and a Super Bowl, and the idea that he played in Detroit for so long, he's going to be looked at probably more favorably, even though I don't think he necessarily should be. I think that Matt was better. I think Matt was better than Matt Stafford. And that's coming. Obviously, I like Matt Stafford because he was a dog. And before Kirby Smart, that might have been the brightest. I mean, Aaron Murray's era was good, but the brightest spot of UGA football in the Mark Richt era was that team being on Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
Him, Noshawn, and AJ Green. And they were number one in the country for the first time ever, just preseason number one, because of the way they beat the shit out of Hawaii and that, like, wearing the black jerseys. Georgia.
Sugar Bowl.
Georgia, honestly, in a weird way, wouldn't be the same without that group, that trio, honestly.
No, you know, I was talking to a friend, and he's a Michigan fan. He was talking about once Ohio State, he's a Steelers fan too. Once Ohio State players come to the Steelers, he forgets all of that stuff, and he doesn't hold it against him. And he asked me about.
Well, he shouldn't.
And he asked us about our reception to Julio as Falcons fans, and I'm like, "Oh, we loved him." But I will say that there were a lot of us who blindly wanted AJ Green. Now, TD made the right call.
You're right, though. Not to cut you off, but like you're right in a sense of we were blinded because of
the great dog.
Well, and honestly, he got drafted before him anyways. Like a lot of people saw what we saw, but I think that we forgot that Alabama was a running team and they didn't really throw the ball, and that the measurables, along with if he was in Georgia's offense, what would it have looked like? We weren't comparing football that way. We just saw what we saw in college.
Yeah.
And that
Julio
was definitely a better pro than AJ.
Julio was 6'3", 220. And ran what a high 4.3 40 with a broken foot, broken leg, some shit like that.
Do you think Julio was a better college receiver than AJ Green anyways?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I just remember the crazy catches. Maybe I'm biased and maybe I just am into shock value. When I saw AJ Green, he made a catch. Do you remember Georgia played like Arizona State one year?
Yeah, I remember that.
Arizona State.
Richard Samuel broke for 80.
Man, and like he like made a catch. It was like a 360 catch, one-handed. And like you can't teach that. There was just certain shit that like he did. Julio was a freak too at Alabama. Like I'm not taking anything away from him. John Parker Wilson was who was throwing to him first. So like he was a freak to begin with. and Matt Stafford's an NFL quarterback. But like, I don't know. AJ looked better to me. Their last years coming out, I would have said AJ Green was going to be the better receiver coming out too. But I'm glad we did get Julio, and Julio ended up being better than AJ Green. So
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about
what made you bring up that Matt Stafford, Matt Ryan question? I'm just curious.
it just popped into my head when I was thinking about Rams South.
What's your answer, by the way?
Stafford.
Okay, go ahead.
I think Matt Ryan was more consistent.
He was overall, and he wasn't injured like Stafford. Stafford got injured too. Like,
But I think I'm a ceiling guy. I'm a big arm guy. So
I don't think the Stafford ceiling was ever higher than that.
I
In terms of I'm not trying to be funny, Lee. His team, the team that he won a Super Bowl with, was made to win a Super Bowl.
Yes,
they went to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff. That team was made to win the Super Bowl.
But Stafford has a skill set that Matt Ryan doesn't have.
And what is the skill set?
Slinging it. The no-look passes.
All right. Now you want to go down this rabbit hole before we get into this Falcons first. And that's okay, because now we got all these Rams people coming in. Do you know who has the most passing yards in NFC Championship history?
Probably Matt Ryan.
Do you know who's second?
No.
Matt Ryan. This stat came up because after the NFC Championship, somebody posted it. He had 396 against Green Bay, and he had 384 against San Francisco. His touchdown, they actually showed it on Fox too, in terms of touchdown passes in NFC Championships. Matt's only played in 2, and he ranked 3rd. And that was with Montana, everybody. He's on that list, and he was 3rd. Matt Ryan can get as much hate as the city of Atlanta has in their heart. And this is supposed to be the city that's too busy to hate. At the end of the day, it's not about what's happened recently with the Falcons. It's about the idea that this was a man that was always underappreciated for whatever reason. And it's just weird. It's weird that people don't appreciate how good of a player he really was and has been.
I'm not in that group because, again,
Pierce is sucking off Matt Ryan. Boy. As if I'm not in the same group, and as if my phone's not in front of me.
That's why I said it. I'm not talking behind your back.
Oh, I know. Here we go. I got something for that.
But no, I think that year in and year out, you're going to get more consistency from Matt Ryan. You know what you're going to get. But I think Matthew Stafford's highs are higher than what Matt Ryan's highs are.
Okay.
Now, his lows are lower. And there was a reckless abandon that Matthew Stafford had that I think we needed at times. And I look at Julio's touchdowns.
Okay.
That will speak to sometimes.
What are Calvin Johnson's touchdowns? Hold on. And Calvin was there before Stafford. So I'm going to pick up. Julio came after Matt, but Calvin was there before. So Calvin was already an established receiver even before Matt Stafford. And Matt Stafford used to get hurt a lot.
I agree.
Early in his career, he got hurt. Okay, hold on. I've got Calvin Johnson's stats pulled up.
Okay.
So what was his high? He had a 16 touchdown season. He broke double digits 4 times in 10 years.
Okay, I'm pulling up Julio Jones right now.
9 years, I'm sorry. So almost half his career was double digits.
Julio only had double digits in 2012.
Bullshit. Yeah. Really? Only one?
Yeah, so his career 8, 10, 2, 6, 8, 6, 3, 8, 6, 3.
A lot of 8 years.
2, 3. Bro, he had 3 touchdowns this year in Philly on 11 receptions.
Yeah,
His
but
last year
he's
in
not who
Atlanta,
he was either.
his
I'm just
last
saying he
year,
wasn't going to be guarded as much. Like
his last year in Atlanta, he had 51 receptions. I know he didn't play all year.
he played like 9 games,
He had 3 touchdowns.
and he played like 9 games.
In 2017, year after our Super Bowl year, 88 for 1444 with 3 touchdowns.
I mean, look, I can't explain. Is that Matt Ryan's fault? Like, whose fault is that?
I mean, the guy throwing the ball, I'm going to throw some of that blame at him only because
Yeah, because he's the one throwing it to him.
Because when you have a guy that good, sometimes it's not about the scheme.
But we won too many games for that to have been the issue. Like if we were, I tell you what, if we were like the Lions, like it would make way more sense. It would, in a sense of we were winning football games. So that means that clearly he didn't need to get in the end zone for us to win games. The Lions weren't winning games and they were getting in the end zone. So what difference does it make? Like break that aspect of it down to me. Like let's break that.
I can't.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard to say why Julio's touchdown totals have always been low. I tell you what, for starters, he played with Tony Gonzalez and Roddy White. Like there were so many dudes that could get the ball in the beginning, and that's when he had his most touchdowns because of those guys. That's why 2012 he had double digits because he fucking was on the field with Roddy White and Tony Gonzalez. But I'm just saying, he's on the field with them. Now it turned to a point. Let's name his wide receiver twos, seriously, real quick, and then we can get into the current Falcons. But like, name his wide receiver twos post Roddy, because Roddy and Tony essentially were gone.
Harry Douglas,
ESPN analyst, and he's really a wide receiver three. Like, we can't even Sanu. We can't name too many of the dudes that were wide receiver 2 on the Falcons. Nigga, Leonard Hankerson, it felt like at one point was wide receiver 2 for the Falcons. Like,
hey, you remember the Duncan Robinson years?
Turbo Taylor led the team in touchdowns the Super Bowl year. How about that? Fun fact. He had 7. He had the most, 2016, he led the team in receiving touchdowns. But Matt Ryan also threw touchdowns to like 13 or 14 different people, which at the time was an NFL record.
Jordan Clarkson has painted fingernails. That a trend you're ready to dive into with your cutoff jean jacket?
I've been had this cutoff jean jacket, but and
I
cut it myself. How about that? And I did it after I got into a car accident.
You want to add some black fingernail paint with that?
Nah, I'll stick to how I got it. Look at that. Look at young bull hustling.
Yeah, so let's talk about the Falcons. Michael Lombardi talked about it on the Lombardi line on VSiN. He also talked about it on the Jim Shuffle, the podcast he's on. And it made me feel good as a Falcons fan and also a Falcons pundit that somebody inside the NFL sees what we see and know what we know, and know that people inside the building who have a tremendous amount of influence on Arthur, at the end of the day, it's Arthur's choice to do whatever is done. But people who had a tremendous amount of influence on our owner, Arthur Blank, saved their jobs because they knew that Bill Belichick could make things a little testy for him if he came in.
Anything short of course, winning the division, and we're not talking that 9-8 winning the division. If we didn't win the division by like 2 games next year, anyone's job was up because Belichick could have said, we could have done better if this, that, and the third happened. This is what I need this year because I'm going to break Shula's record. This is what I need.
And you know what? I'll tell you, man.
Arthur Blank would have had no choice but to obey his command because, well, he came in and we won the division. He's a guy that's shown success on all levels, regardless of what everybody wants to say. He was the GM for the Patriots for a long time. He's shown success on all levels. He came here and he showed us some success that we haven't seen in 7 years. So, like, I don't want to blame Rich McKay,
I do.
Terry Fontenot for why?
I do.
Well, then it gets back to Lombardi's point. Arthur Blank's just a liar. He's a liar. Because why is it that Rich McKay is stepping away now? Because if you were going to hire Belichick, wouldn't that have been the case anyway? So then somebody needs to school me on the reason why this man is no longer going to be a part of football. And more importantly, he's going to step into soccer, which makes no sense either. Like, if I'm an Atlanta United fan, I'm terrified because what does first of all, Kanye actually said it best. He said, I like some of the Gaga songs, but what the fuck does she know about cameras? And it was a valid question. Why is she the creative director of Polaroid or Kodak or whatever when she doesn't know shit about she doesn't take pictures? The fuck does she know about cameras? It's the same thing with him going over there. So make that make sense. Why is it that we're going to step him away now? But even with what got leaked was that they weren't going to be able to work. And that was going to be the only thing, because even the report did come out, at least 929 The Game said it, that Terry and Bill would have been able to coexist, essentially. At least for a year, they were going to be able to coexist.
So, yeah, why not bring Bill in there?
Exactly. And this is what – but it gets back to Lombardi's take of Rich McKay's not going anywhere. And that's the real truth. Like, that is the real truth. The real truth is that they said that because just like there were people that were upset about the idea of hiring Bill Belichick, just as many people said Rich McKay has to go. And so to appease both sides, we won't hire him and he'll go away. Boom. And we hired a black coach. And this gets back to what Justice had to say last week. Like, it's the same thing. And it's nothing. And you know, I wish that we could have chopped up maybe just one part of Lombardi. But, like, you know that Lombardi is in the know in the league.
He knows more than what he says.
And he wasn't going to put that information out without it being factual.
Yeah. So all I learned, I won't say learned. What was validated to me is that the Falcons are a dysfunctional franchise with an owner who doesn't know enough about football and has put the wrong people around him because those people want to put their kids and grandkids through Pace's Academy. And that's what's going to happen. Because if those people actually gave a damn about the team and not their office, if Arthur knew enough, if your GM is safe, if your scouting department is safe, Bill Belichick's coaching resume says everything we need to hear. Damn his GM resume. Damn his talent evaluation resume. Because that's not great as of late.
Recently.
But his ability to coach a football team, he's the GOAT. So
I would have rather Arthur Blank made a statement, just like how him and Rich came out when they talked about firing Arthur Smith, that they sat down and they said, when they do Raheem's getting introduced Tuesday.
Okay.
I would rather them come out and be like, if Zach Klein from WSB TV comes out and says, so there were a lot of rumblings that Bill Belichick was going to be the coach. He was the first coach you guys interviewed. He was also the first to get a second interview. What happened to where this didn't happen? I would rather Arthur Blank answer the question and say, Bill wanted too much control over the personnel, and I wasn't willing to give it to him. Like, that would be really nice to actually hear, in a sense of, okay, that explains why you guys didn't hire him, because you saw that his recent personnel stuff wasn't good enough and you wanted him to be a football coach, and he said no to that. Anything short of that, or him telling you that he was only going to coach 3 more years tops, would like blow my mind on why you hired Raheem over him. And it doesn't mean that Raheem's a bad coach candidate. It doesn't mean that Raheem can't be the guy that gets us to the promised land. But anything else short of that is disappointing. It's very disappointing because it means to me that you didn't want to win right now. That is what that says to me.
And it's a slap in the face to the fans, but it's more of a slap in the face to the season ticket holders.
Yes, the people, us.
Yes, because I was telling my wife this last week, maybe the week
Yeah,
before.
I know she's on a high. The 49ers are in the Super Bowl. I'm sure she's just used to this shit now, right? Like,
and you know what? I'm tired of it. I'm rooting against the 49ers because I'm rooting against her being happy on Super Bowl night.
I'm gonna have my picks next week.
But I tell her, I go, once I became a season ticket holder, my fandom and my care about the Falcons changed. It changed because I'm bought into this shit. They took their pound of flesh at 8:45 this morning. I got an email, my bank saying, hey, big withdrawal came out of your account. Yeah, I bet it did. It's those goddamn season tickets. Came out before my mortgage.
Why'd yours come out today? Oh, it is February. You know, I didn't even check.
February 1st.
No, the first one does come out February. Hold on. Let me. No, because I tell you what, I didn't see it.
But the point is that you're so bought into this because you're actually bought into it. It's, hey, I'm paying you for this, and I may not even go to one game next year. But you still got your pound of flesh out of me. And when you don't feel like the organization is doing what's best for the organization, it hurts you a little bit more. It hurts you. And I don't think Raheem's a bad hire.
Me neither.
I'm not mad at us hiring Raheem Morris. I am mad that we didn't hire Bill Belichick or Mike Vrabel. Two guys who have proven more than Raheem Morris has ever proven in this league. Bill Belichick has proven more than anybody who's ever coached in the NFL. Whether it's Bill the DC, whether it's Bill the head coach.
Or Bill the GM. You can be mad about his reason shit, that if he's been the GM the entire time, I'm not trying to be funny, Tom Brady, the reason he won, well, who the fuck decided to draft Tom in the 6th round?
And who the fuck decided to keep Drew Bledsoe on the sideline when he came back?
With a $100 million contract. Back then.
Didn't want me, now I'm out there all
Bill did. Bill made that decision.
And if
and look, Tom Brady, I think somebody else said it. Yeah, somebody in the Sun said this. A Boston guy, by the way. He literally said that Eric he named them all. Eric Mangini, Romeo Crennel, Charlie Weiss.
Bill O'Brien's the only one who was good.
No, Bill O'Brien, him too. Give me Joe Judge, McDaniels, any Patriots coordinator should be sending Tom Brady checks, is what he said. Because none of them should have ever gotten fucking jobs without Tom Brady. And then I said, why are we acting like we can't give Bill some credit for what happened?
Bill ran such a great operation that his coordinators weren't ready to be head coaches because he was such a good fucking head coach.
And he let them come back on campus, even once they were suspended. And he got them more jewelry when they got back.
Hey, Parlay Pete, question for you.
Answer for you.
If Bill Belichick came to Atlanta and he didn't work, would you be mad at Arthur Blank?
No.
I wouldn't either. If Raheem doesn't work, I'm going to be mad.
Well, I'm going to be mad because I just saw him coach 3 years ago. That's the real truth of that, too. It's not Raheem's fault. It's the idea that They interviewed Raheem then, and then they said Arthur Smith was better, but he wasn't. So then if he wasn't, was Raheem – if I'm Zach Klein for WSB TV, not only do I ask that Belichick question that I just posed, I also ask and say, Raheem or Rich or Arthur, 3 years ago after you were the interim, did they tell you that you were a finalist for the coaching position, Raheem? And then Mr. Blank, follow up, if he says that he was, where did he fall in that pecking order for that job? Because
Damn that.
we're just curious as to why he's back today. Not that we're not excited about you, Raheem. Like, somebody needs to ask the real hard question.
Somebody needs to ask what changed in 3 years that made him the guy. Are you going to say that you made a mistake hiring Arthur Smith?
Is it because he has jewelry? What is the reason? Because you just let the guy with the most jewelry walk away. So I know it can't be about diamonds. So what is it about? Is it about age? Is it color?
Is it that you want to win or that you want to win your way? And I think a problem, and I think I did a podcast of this by myself. I don't think that non-football people should be able to own NFL franchises.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about business, Parlay Pete. People who run the top companies in this country typically work in that industry, right?
Yes.
They cut their teeth in that industry and they either work their way up or they fucking work their way up and then they go independent or they buy in, whatever, right? You don't take a guy who spent his entire career in, I don't know, water treatment and say, hey, you're about to run this hedge fund.
Yes.
Not to say that he's not capable of running that hedge fund.
Right.
Because he may just go straight to water treatment because he knows the ins and outs of water treatment and invest in those in water treatment startups, right?
Yes.
But only in the NFL do rich guys who've done nothing with football get to buy NFL franchise.
Yes.
The guys who should run NFL franchises, you know what? Rich McKay, not a fan. Rich McKay is the type of guy who should be an owner. Super Bowl champion.
He should be an owner too.
Super Bowl champion, a Super Bowl champion as a GM, a CEO of a franchise who is regarded as functional, which it's not. Competition committee, spend his life in the NFL.
Yes.
And you know what? The more I think about it, this hire makes sense. But he's the type of guy who buys the franchise.
Correct.
Because he's been in football forever. Bill Belichick, type of guy who buys the franchise because he's been in football forever. Andy Reid, type of guy who owns the franchise. You know what? Fuck it. John Lynch, Tom Brady, the type of guys who have produced at a high level in football should be the guys who run football teams. And I don't care what you say, the owner runs the franchise. The franchise is a direct reflection of the owner. Jerry Jones should own a fucking franchise. But no. Because the money's more important than the product. We decide to allow people with the most money who are liked most by the other owners, because again, it don't matter if you got the biggest bid. You got to get voted in. They get to run a franchise.
How big is your stick is what they want to see.
Josh Harris.
They're on some Vince McMahon shit. I'm sure that we'll get into that later too. But like
Josh Harris, terrible owner for Philly. He's underperformed as a Philadelphia owner, but you know what? He's got a bag, so guess what? He runs the Commanders now.
Quick question, actually, before I know I've just brought him up. Vince McMahon or Daniel Snyder, who do you think would run a better operation in the NFL?
From whose perspective? Me as a black man?
No, as a fan. If it was your team,
As a fan, give me Vince McMahon. He pleases his fans. Daniel Snyder doesn't please his fans or the people who work for him. Well, maybe he pleases them, but that.
even James Dolan, what about a guy like that? Knicks have had success under his reign to a degree. Like it's been
You know
a
what?
shit majority of the time. Like Washington, the Redskins, Commanders, whatever you want, football team, like they haven't had any success.
No.
Like they
James
really
Snyder-
haven't. That's why when people like Dale, Matt, and JP, whenever they say anything about the Falcons, I just think to myself, it's just like you guys support this guy that has sexual harassment running rampant in his business. Your stadium sucks. It's not even in DC.
Landover.
Yeah, and I've been, and it's the worst stadium in the NFL, and like you guys have been supporting this for years. Mediocrity. You got RG3.
I don't even think it's mediocrity. I think it's
it's below mediocrity.
yeah, it's shit.
Yeah. You hired Steve Spurrier. You hired Joe Gibbs. You brought Joe Gibbs back, and actually he's the one that took you back to the playoffs.
Shanahan took him too.
He did. I know with RG3, but I'm saying Gibbs did it with Santana Moss, and I forgot who was quarterback. Maybe Ramsey. You remember Ramsey?
Patrick Ramsey, yeah.
Yeah, man. I think he might have been the quarterback with Santana Moss and Antoine Randall L. Because they actually had a pretty and Stephen Davis. No, Stephen Davis wasn't the running back. Who was the running back? Clinton Portis. I think maybe he was the running back when they went with that team. They traded Champ Bailey for Clinton Portis because Champ Bailey. Yeah. But look, this is how deep it goes. I've always remembered the Redskins like as a kid, even right. There's a true story. Maybe I can pull it up and I'll send it to you. I have a photo because when we were going through for my brother's funeral, there's a photo of us at a base. Like I guess we got done playing baseball or something. Maybe I wasn't even playing by then. I think I was, but it didn't. I don't look like I was in a uniform. Point man, I had a Redskins jacket on. Funny enough, true story.
How true is it?
Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can find the photo. It was really interesting though. We got so many group text messages, man.
I mean, you're just such a hot commodity around here.
No, it's just here it is. Actually, I did find it. I'm gonna send it to you real quick.
Okay, send it to me. I'm printing something off for my wife. I'm printing it now because I'll forget.
Yeah. So this was before I was playing. So I was probably, because I'm looking at Justice. Justice was probably not even one. All right, maybe he was one, and I was maybe. Baseball season is when? When do you do baseball, T-ball?
Fall.
So I might have just turned. Justice, I can't even tell, man. I'm standing up, but you can see I'm the only person whose face you can't see in this picture.
Oh, shocker.
Yeah, I know, right? But
guys running from the camera.
But that's me in the Redskins jacket, is my point. And so
that's the Commanders now, buddy. Take command.
Yeah. And that doesn't change anything. We still went to Falcons games. I think that they just would buy it. Like, because I've had plenty of gear. I obviously have plenty of Falcons. I still have my Jesse Hammer, the Tuggle jersey, in here right now that I have as a kid. But regardless.
You know what? I still have my first jersey. Guess who my first jersey of my life was?
Give me the team and I'll guess.
No.
Well,
I got the jersey. Let's say I was in kindergarten. So let's say it's like
sport.
Basketball.
Oh, Jordan.
Color.
Black.
My man.
The black one, because the black one was the coldest. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Now I got that as a gift, kindergarten, because I got perfect attendance.
Really?
Yeah.
A pretty good gift.
Yeah. To go to school every day, sick or
And
not.
yeah, basically to say, no, I want to go to school, like type shit.
So throughout my school life, I would get $50 for perfect attendance. And a nigga cared about getting that 50 piece. Now as I got older, that 50 piece became way less significant because as a kindergartner in 97, you know how long 50 stretches in 97 at 6?
Well, you weren't spending it anyways, in a sense of you had to be taken somewhere and say, I want this.
I have to be taken somewhere and say I want this, and my mom says I'm not buying it. I go, ho ho ho.
What would you buy when you got money as a kid?
Probably like some stupid shit. Bro, I don't even
Like candy, right? Like
know. I wasn't a big candy kid. I became a candy person as an adult.
$50 stretch if you wanted to buy like a game, right?
Yeah, it would be like a game, or it would be a clothing item that my mom just is like, no, I'm not spending that much on that. And I go, she's like, wait till it goes on sale. And I'm like, no, I want it
Nigga,
now.
we abuse and use Marshalls, JC Penney's, Circuit City, not Circuit City, Value City.
Boy, bro.
Nigga, Value City actually used to have the best throwbacks.
Dog, I was just about to say that because back in the throwback days, boy, I remember they had the AI Bethel High School in Value City one day. That bitch was like $17. I'm talking about the Value City in Marietta, right?
Yes, we're talking. No, I'm trying to tell you, we're talking about the same one. My mom. So our gym is right there on Windy Hill. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right there.
Even Colin and Jordan the Sextons, our gym's right there. That's where they used to practice. So like, sometimes they would come with us. Like sometimes it was cool. Like my mom would be like, it's cool. Like they can come. But like, bro, me and Justice used to rack up.
I never wanted my friends going to the store with me because my mom, she old school Southern lady, feel like if she get me something, she got to get somebody else's kid something. And that's cutting into what I want.
Well, and I'm not even saying so because it was right down the street from the gym. My mom definitely got them stuff sometimes. Like that was never like an issue, but it was just more of a because we were playing. Like it's the thing we would play. Like so, like sometimes we'd go down to the pool. Like it would be just a lot of shit that you used to go on. It's so crazy because I still go to that same gym. But
it's so
like
crazy that we were going to the same Value City.
yes, nigga. No, I know that Value City. There's a Folks that used to be right by there.
Yep.
I know exactly where Value City. But that's why I said Marshalls, JCPenney's, and then I said Circus City, but I meant that's why I was like Value City. Value City used to have the best throwbacks. I remember we got an Alex English, white one. I think a Larry. I didn't. So my mom. Oh, I didn't get it. I think Jordan might got it once, but like my mom, that was the one thing that she did not allow us to do is to get white men's jerseys.
That was never a conversation in my house, but I never owned one.
My mom, well, I don't mind saying it. She wasn't racist, but my mom was definitely she wasn't racist.
Bro, I just text my mom.
She had a prejudice for sure.
Value City.
She had a prejudice for sure, in a sense of she didn't because there were white kids on my brother's team, so like that wasn't the issue. It was just more of a
nah, bro, I get it.
Yeah, like I mean, no, but it's just the honest to God truth. And even when I got to private school, even then, like when I did my prom, my girlfriend and I, like we did pictures. My mom came. One of the things that breaks my heart to this day was me when she dropped me off, and I said, "Mom, you don't have to take pictures. Like you don't have to do all this." And I just know I hate that I didn't allow her to do that because that was my prom. But the very next day, I went to Stevenson High School's prom, and it was down the street. Not the prom itself, but the girl's house. And she was black. So my mom came over. She brought out my dad's like drop top, fucking like shit, $100,000 car, and we took pictures. Like my mom was all up in it. She was super excited, and it's so funny that as a child, you really, even then, even as a senior, when I'm about to be in college, I didn't really realize certain stuff because I do realize it obviously now, but I'm like, you know what? She was very excited about this for whatever reason. And
Bro,
maybe he didn't take pictures the day before.
that's
But
so funny. That's hilarious because I remember my senior year I had a prom date. Boom. She flaked. But she flaked like well enough in advance to where she's like, hey, I can't go to your prom. Whoop de whoop de whoop. Got a boyfriend, he tripping, yada yada yada. Cool, no problem. So the girl who actually got it voted most attractive in my class asked me to go to prom with her. And me and her were like super cool too. Like that was the homie. Shout out to her. I won't say her name because tell you what, boy, she's not most attractive anymore. She's most surprising.
go on.
She looked like Sherman Klump.
Hey, we didn't ask for all that. I said go on with the story.
So she asked me to prom, and obviously I want to say yeah, cause like that's the homie. We cool as hell. They got
And
the party.
that is the one thing you did not want to do was be the nigga that showed up without a date. You could, but like usually prom is honestly meant, and it doesn't have to be with who you like. It's just like it's just
Bro,
meant to be one of those things.
I was one who just showed up with something that looked good on my arm.
Did you go to junior prom?
I went to prom 4 years. I went to 5 proms.
Oh, wow. Well, you're the man then, because I did not. I purposely didn't go junior year, and then senior year, I went to mine. I had a girlfriend though at the time, so like I went with her, and then at my school. But then the redemption story was to go to Stevenson's, to go back where I grew.
Where you came up.
Pre-K through 9th grade. I know these people, and they know me, and everybody knows who we are. Like so, like to get the opportunity, and it was at the 755 Club or 7 whatever Hank Aaron's shit is. It was at Turner Field. I wasn't driving. I didn't have a driver's license. I didn't get a driver's license until I got Morehouse. But like, and she was the president of the senior class. So we got introduced. Yeah, I know, right? But when people see me, she's gay, by the way. She wasn't always gay, but like she was gay. By then I knew she was gay. Justice dated her younger sister who everybody wanted to hit. And so that's how I got it. I was supposed to take Deneen, this girl named Deneen was who I was supposed to take. And she was somebody I actually was always attracted to in middle school when we were just cool.
Yeah.
But like for whatever reason, somehow she asked me before her and I just wanted to go. But it was awesome, bro. It was so great because I felt like I went back to school.
So that's crazy. So
but everybody's kissing my ass like they're acting like I'm Esquire in ATL. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like
you private school nigga, boy.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. So, but it was such a great night because of that alone. I had a great time. Great.
So yeah,
I had more fun at that prom than I did actually my own.
So for me, senior year, like I told Shorty like no, because I had a date when she asked me, and then like I lost my date, and then whoop de whoop, shit happened. I was texting her sister, and she found out about it. Cause I was wild in high school. I used to have like other chicks text for me.
This nigga.
But yeah, she was like, "Whoa, you text my sister?" And I'm like,
"Oh, well, you're wild for doing that more than anything."
Bro, I didn't know her. I didn't know I was gonna get a text from her sister like then, man. I was tripping.
Hey, you weren't tripping, bro. You were acting up. For real. No, bro, that's even back then, that's like, goddamn well you shouldn't be doing this type shit.
I used to live on the edge, man. But no, so Anyways, I ended up not going because, you know, all the black people, we meet up at a certain place in Cartersville to take prom pictures. I'm not bringing a white girl there, dog. Like, it's not happening.
It was that bad.
Nah, it wasn't that bad. It
What was
honestly,
your school's ratio, by the way? That's a better question to ask.
my school ratio was heavy white, heavy on the white.
Would you say it was 70-30? I mean,
It probably 70-30, yeah. 70-30, 65-35. Yeah.
what about so no Hispanics and like I'm sure few, but like
I mean, there were, but
like,
the black people and the Hispanics, we were not on the same team.
no, I'm just saying, okay, what percentage was white? I won't even ask what percentage was black. What percentage was white?
Probably
65?
probably 65. Like so here's how it was. You see our basketball team, all black. Our cheerleading squad.
Who you talking about?
But our cheerleading squad, 90%
All white. Yeah. Maybe
white.
one black chick was, bro. But it was this, and I went to a small school. Like, what class were y'all? Were y'all 4A, 3?
We were we were 3A my first 2 years, then we moved up to 4A my last 2 years. And this is back when George only had 5 A's.
We were 3A GISA. We weren't even GHSA. We were GISA.
Oh yeah.
And so we were now they ended up like 2 years after I left, they became GHSA. Like Justice's private school, when he left Mount Vernon, where he went, they ended up playing them, which was pretty fucking funny. I wish that Justice played basketball, but he didn't. So like, because it would have been great. They played at Mount Vernon. Like it would have been something for me to go to. But my point in even bringing this up is this. It was one of those things too, where I went to, my school was 95% white. No doubt. It was, all in all, it was 95% white. Like nigga, the basketball team was the black people. Like, and it was all black except we had one white kid. We had two. My boy Jake Rowland and Matt Reed. Those were the white guys. You said what?
The shooters.
Nah, so Matt was on varsity when I got there in 10th grade. Matt actually could play, but Matt hustled. Matt was like
he was Matt Geiger.
Nah, I want to give you he's better than that comparison. Let me think. Hold on. I'm thinking college basketball. He was like he's like Tyler Hansborough, but not as much scoring, obviously. Like, but he was Psycho T. Yeah, like that was him. No, for real. That was him. He was the he was the president of the same, like he looked like a grown man. So, but Matt was liked by everybody. He was the one person that everybody at my school liked. And then Jake Rowland was our boy. Like Jake is still, like I'm going to Jake's wedding. Like Jake is one of my best friends.
Is that the guy we met at the bar that day?
Yes, it is. If you ever see me with the white guy, it's Jake Rowland.
We ran into him in Buckhead.
Yep. Jake's one of my good friends. And so like Jake, like I told you, I didn't have a license. Jake let me drive his car during senior lunch without a license. Me and Latana went to McDonald's. It was only like a mile away. But the fact that he even gave me the keys to his car, like there's like little shit that I like.
Yeah, nah, fuck around me, your black ass would have been walking.
We weren't gonna walk. Somebody would have just had to take us, or we would have ate at school. I mean,
y'all niggas eating school.
I knew how to drive. It was just I didn't have a driver's license. So like I had a permit, but like I didn't have a driver's license. So
my mom worked in my high school. I couldn't do none of that wild shit.
Yeah. So, but this is my point. White school, black players, football team was like 50-50.
Yeah.
But like the niggas still ran the school. We want to stay like we ran that school. We still running that bitch at the end of the day.
Nah, man, those were good times, man. I'm trying to think which my senior prom I had fun, which was crazy because so I should have got expelled my senior year. I went on a trip to Athens and we got drunk.
Was this like a college visit or y'all just traveled to Athens?
It was a FBLA conference and I didn't.
It was school related though.
It was school related and we had to be in like these we had to like go to these classes all day, but they didn't take roll.
Yeah.
And I wasn't the FBLA guy. I was actually a DECA guy, the marketing organization, state champion.
Hey.
State champion. But yeah. So I was there, but I was only there to go to Athens because I wanted to do like my little visit of UGA without taking actual college day to visit UGA. And some guys we knew who had graduated, they pulled up on us with a little bit of lick. So I, I I indulged. But what messed me up though, I got somebody ended up snitching. We get in trouble. I copped to it. What? I took a plea. Yeah, I took a plea. Yeah. Because the principal said, "Here's what happens. If you own up to this, you'll get suspended for 2 weeks. It was the 2 weeks before Christmas break. You get to make up all of your work, and it's not gonna pop up on your record."
And you guys were all like,
I said, "What?"
niggas did this handshake. The Morehouse, the dear old niggas were like,
No, one dude he didn't cop. He denied it to the end. I'm like,
and what ended up happening to him?
nothing. I'm like, cool. So I didn't snitch on nobody. I just said that I was drinking. They said, "Where'd you get the alcohol?" I was like, I don't know.
Somebody randomly gave it to me.
Yeah, I made up some bullshit. I said some bullshit to say I didn't get nobody else in trouble. They all end up taking that same plea, but I didn't snitch on anybody else. I'd already got snitched on before I even showed up in the office. And because my mom worked there, I came clean because my principal's her boss.
Right.
So for the sake of my mom, I'm gonna come clean because if I lie about it, she still got to work with this man. I'm a senior. I don't give a fuck. So, long story short, man, I show up to prom drunk as fuck, obviously. Off to Mr. Boston.
Nigga shit wasn't.
Nah, it wasn't that bad, but it was on my breath. And one of my teachers, shout out to her, she was like, "Have you seen your mom yet?" I said, "No, ma'am." She was like, "Don't go see her." I said, "What?" She was like, "I ain't gonna say nothing, but you know." I was like, "Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know."
Did your mom know that you drank? I mean,
No, because my mom was kind of oblivious. She was cool. But my mom, she
I'm
did.
saying you were hiding it from her.
Yeah, she she knew that I drank. Yes, she didn't know I drank that night.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like because before I got caught, my mom asked me one day, because my mom is one of them old, she had dreams and shit. And she was like, "I had a dream that you got a DUI. Do you drink?" And I go, "Yeah." And this was on a Friday night when she pulled me off.
Yeah.
She pulled me on a Friday night, and we didn't have a football game that Friday. It was our bye week. So we were gonna go to another game and get obviously get drunk, chill, kick it, and so yeah, I was just like, "Yeah, I drank," and she was like, "Well, I had this dream, blah 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 blah," and her dream was very aligned with what my night was gonna look like where I got caught, who I would have called, all this stuff, and I said, "Okay, yeah, okay, yeah." Okay, I'm gonna chill for a little while. But yeah, that stuff ended up happening. And so yeah, I show up to prom drunk. I see my principal. That nigga know I'm drunk. Everybody at prom know I'm drunk. But my mom, she gets to crying because like they do like, prom king and stuff. And the way our school did it, it was like a point system. It wasn't just votes.
Well, explain that to me then.
So homecoming was just votes. It was
Yeah.
the people.
Well, explain that aspect.
The point system was like your involvement in different stuff in the school.
Oh man. Okay. Well, that makes sense then.
So I had the most points by a landslide, but I got disqualified because I got in trouble. Oh man, my mom was crying and shit when that happened. Like she had to like leave the we had to we went and took our pictures doing that stuff so we wouldn't be like in the ballroom when it was happening because we had our prom at the Georgia Hotel and Conference Center. And yeah, man, when you talk about regrets, one of my biggest regrets is getting drunk in Athens in 2009, not because of what I did, but because of what it did to my mom and how it made her feel and how her coworkers treated her because of my actions. And she didn't tolerate me drinking. She wasn't the parent who was like, "Hey, y'all can come to the house and get drunk." I was.
You're almost making it sound like almost like they use that as ammo for and that's what Adam does. Almost as if that your actions are as a result of her parenting or something.
Exactly. And that's what bothered me about it because like up until my senior year, I had 1B in high school. It was an 89. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a good student, class
What
president.
was your GPA?
It was a 3.9 until senior year, and then once I started filling out applications and they asked for my grades through junior year, I stopped caring.
Well, I'll say, bro, I graduated with like a 3.1, but
Now I was like
honors, but like goddamn.
no, I was like my cumulative grade GPA when I graduated was like a 95.5. But yeah, it dang, bro, I didn't mean to get into this, but
we actually rambled on.
Yeah, but no,
we actually took this from to even get to this point.
That shit bothered me though. It really bothered me, man, because I grew up in my high school. My mom worked there almost 30 years. You know what I'm saying? So like I was like a little kid getting off the bus from elementary school to my high school. I went to the feeder school of my high school. I went to like that middle school.
No, it was the same.
Yeah, so like
private school, it was the exact same. I live on my parents. We live on Stevenson Road. I went to Pine Ridge Elementary. I went to Stevenson Middle. I went to Stevenson High School. Most
of my teachers I knew as like an elementary school kid, right? Like
because your mom always worked at the high school.
She always worked there, so she hand selected all of my teachers, right? She gave me all the best teachers in the school, and you just sitting there, and then some of these people who I grew up with, who was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm out here selling candy for the school fundraiser and shit.
Yeah.
They buying my shit, and then now they talking crazy about me and my mom because I decided to be come on, man.
Yeah.
I'm a 3-sport varsity athlete. I'm a young think I'm fly nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to the polo outlet, copping the drip. And yeah, nigga, I get drunk.
Nigga was working at Burger King.
Oh yeah, I was working at Burger King.
Nigga, I know. You told me.
I had a little bit of spending money too, and then I'm driving the stankin' Lincoln. I'm driving that '96 Lincoln Town car. I can put 20 niggas in that motherfucker. We got a hot bottle of Mr. Boston in the trunk, baby.
No. I'm with you. And like I said, I have no idea how we got on this, but I'll say
we need to close out hour one.
Let's close it out. But I'm just gonna say this to put an exclamation point on it. One of the things about high school, I think actually I do know how we got here because we were talking about the kids and how I said something that my mom had said. Somehow we were talking about something about
prom and white women.
Our daughter, well, we were talking about our daughters too, but like I said, my mom had said, you only get to be a child once, and it's 100% true. You get to be an adult your entire life.
Yeah.
And I just ended on that.
Yeah. That's hour one, guys.